into play when you get put onto the sex offenders register. And the reason they put you on a sex offenders register is, even if that is the case, they want to make sure that you don't keep doing the same thing. It might be a behavioural thing, I don't know. But for me, it makes me very uncomfortable.
Why have you upset Little Britain, Saira Khan?
Well, I have really no idea why I have, but the
So
Daily Express...
you're in the Express, the Daily Star...
What are they saying? Because I don't read these papers.
Well, they're slagging you off, really. Well,
about what?
Well, they're not really slagging you off. They're just saying that you caused outrage on Loose Women yesterday.
But saying what? We were talking about whether we would allow our daughter to go out with somebody who was on the sex offenders register. There was a story in America.
Okay.
She was a 25-year-old woman, and she told her mum, the boyfriend that I'm going out with right now was on the sex offenders register.
Yeah.
And my opinion was, look, I have children, and if my daughter told me that, I would be horrified, and I really would not accept it.
Right.
And I would probably, like Nadia as well, who was on the thing, would go to the nth degree to make sure that my daughter was safe.
Yeah.
And that whatever this offence was, I got to the bottom of it. Why are you on the sex offenders register, etc., etc. And I guess because I was pretty passionate and really serious about it, it really infuriates people. It's like, why have you got an opinion? Why are you saying that? And it's like, well, I'm paid to have an opinion, and I don't expect you to like it.
So what are they cross about? What are they saying? So I'm looking at the headline
know.
on the Daily Star. Loose Women fans call for this panellist to be axed, but which one? ... So a bit clickbaity. It turns out it's you.
Yeah. It's always me, though.
Are you being called to be axed? Have you heard? Have they called you? Have Loose Women been in touch saying don't bother coming back?
Not really, because I think I'm doing quite a good job on Loose Women. I'm paid to have an opinion.
Has Christine Lampard deleted you from a contacts list?
No, not at all. And the thing is, on that particular subject, if all the panellists agree with each other, then it makes a very boring TV. And I said, look, I'm absolutely happy to say, under no circumstance would I want my child to go out with somebody who was on a sex offenders register.
Right.
Now, the counter argument was, but what if your son went out one day? Because this is where then the argument goes, goes,
right, so this is where it gets
expands.
A bit, yeah.
So what if your son went out and had sex with a girl he thought was 16, but actually she'd lied and said it was 14?
Yeah.
And my argument was, look, in a case like that, it has to go to court, and the courts have to hear the evidence for and against, and then, they decide based on that evidence whether you have committed a sexual offence. If evidence has come to light that actually, it's unfair, or this, what was said, what didn't happen, then you don't get onto the sex offenders register. And I didn't understand what the argument was.
Right, okay.
They were saying, yes, but there's loads of cases that have been thrown out of court because evidence has come to light, and these men have been put through a sort of trauma.
I see what you mean. So why do they hate you so much?
I think it's because I am a British Asian Muslim woman, and these papers don't like views from people like me. I think I genuinely
think it's racism.
I never use colour as an excuse.
Yeah.
I've seen racism. I've seen institutionalised racism, and I just genuinely believe that this paper, particularly whoever's writing these stories, it always seems to have a go at me, is based on the fact that they just don't like people of colour.
Well, it seems to be, it's the Express and the Daily Star, which are part of the same news group.
Have you
upset Richard Desmond?
Why don't you just have the balls to come out and say, we don't like you because you're brown?
Right, okay.
Well, just come out and say it instead of slammed. It's like 2 people or 3 people on Twitter who sort of, just didn't agree with my argument. It's like, I'm absolutely fine. That's fine. But then when they make headlines and they take the argument out of context and make a story out of it, that is not good, and that doesn't do them any justice.
I'm trying to find the story on the Express site, but all I can find is you falling over in some mud.
That was for Sports Relief. But also people who know me.
Yeah.
They know what I'm like. If I was a nasty, horrible, opinionated woman without an argument, I wouldn't be in the job that I do.
No, I'm sure. Well, no, exactly. That's the whole point of Loose Women, isn't it? You're always getting each other into trouble, aren't you?
Well, we have different experiences and we have different points of view.
Yeah.
And I think surely that's what life's about.
So
we learn from each other as a result of that.
Who was on the panel? Did everyone agree with you, or was it split?
Well, Nadia said that, if her daughter had said it, she'd sort of go to the police, find out, do everything that she could. And I think, she agreed with me, but it's not that the headline isn't Nadia gets slammed, it's Saira Khan gets slammed. So, and this happens repeatedly with these papers.
Yeah.
So what am I to presume?
No. So someone tweeted, why do they allow Saira on this panel? She's so annoying. What do you say to that?
Yes, I am. And that's why I'm on the panel. And the thing is, if I touch somebody's emotion, then I'm doing my job right.
That's what you're there to do,
I'm
isn't it?
there to touch your emotion.
Do the producers
good or
ask you to
bad.
kind of to be controversial? Do they say no?
No, but listen, when I talk about, the Muslim issues in my community and I put my neck on the line, I'm giving people speaking on behalf of people who don't have a voice. When I talk about the fact that, I was abused as a kid in a closed community, I'm giving people an insight into a community that they don't know about. So actually, I'm on that panel to represent diversity and to give people an insight into it. And if you want to get rid of me, you know what? I have no issues at all.
No, I'm talking me now. Just to clarify.
But it is annoying because it's kind of like it happens all the time and you just get sick of it. And it's like, this is what happens. They make you feel like you're doing something wrong. And actually, I'm not doing something wrong. I'm doing my job.
Well, can't say fairer than that. Do you agree with Saira? Are you one of those people that tweeted against her? Or would you rather she was here all the time, or would you rather she was on Loose Women all the time? Let's do a flash vote.
Oh, goodness. Our producers just said Loose Women, get her on there.
Tweet in if you've got a message for Saira at Talk Radio, or just drop us a line 0344 499 1000. We would love to hear from you. We are going to go to a break, but after the break, I mean, we're going to talk about going from one thing to another. We are, am I right in thinking we're going to fish and chips? It is the National Fish and Chip Awards. We're going straight from Lisa Riley's Honesty Diet to racism in newspapers to National Fish and Chip Day. That's what you get on Talk Radio. That is what you want. Right, it's Jamie East and Saira Khan on Talk Radio. Talk to you in a sec.